We've got ones that can see. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. The Wall Street Journal and other media outlets have just put out a report about how by the end of 2025, Apple is preparing to roll out their brain implant control of its devices. This is the brain-computer interface that I've been talking about for a long time, and I will continue talking about it until I'm no longer here in hopes that I can help wake people up to what this technology is. This is a very important video. There might be things that are crossovers and other topics that I've discussed, but I highly recommend you watch until the end, and I will piece this together as simply as I can without confusing anybody out there. Even media outlets like Barstool, which is geared towards young males, young teenagers, 20 to 30-year-old males, is reporting on this, and everybody needs to understand what this is. So Apple is going to be rolling out their technology that can control Apple-specific devices such as iPhones and Vision Pro through human brain waves. Apple is the #1 seller of cell phones in the world. Its most popular phone by far is the iPhone. This correlates with what I've discussed in regards to how this is going to be marketed via different corporations. Apple with their iPhone having their own brain-computer interface. Elon Musk with Neuralink. It's all the same technology. It's called brain-computer interface. You will be able to control your phones with your brains. The technology is going to enable iPhone users to control their devices using neural signals which are captured by brain implants. And again, this is not technology that's developed by Apple or Tesla. This is military mind control applications being released through corporations. This is DARPA's creation. This is a creation of the deep state. And they tell you that you'll be able to control these devices with your brain waves. But the reality of the matter is that they'll be able to control your brain. Most people out there think, well, you'll be controlling a computer. I'll be able to think something, it'll pop up on my computer screen. It's going to work the other way. And this is biblical. This is all part of sorcery and witchcraft. Elon Musk's Neuralink company, this is the same technology as what Apple is going to be doing at the end of 2025, has their brain chip, and they're calling it telepathy, which will enable telepathic communication. The chip is designed to intercept brain signals and retransmit them to other parts of the body or to devices like computers. So they're even saying that they're intercepting brain signals. What they're not telling you is that they could send signals to your brain. So Elon Musk filed a trademark for telepathy and telekinesis. Now, why is this important? Why is Apple doing this? Why are they talking about controlling your phone with your mind? Because as Elon Musk has said, as I've told people on my channel for years, the cell phone is going to be obsolete by 2030. Smartphones are going to become obsolete. BCIs are the way forward. That's out of Elon Musk's mouth. That's out of all of these corporations, these tech companies have talked about BCIs are the way forward, but most people don't understand what that is. They are moving the technology inside of your body. Neuralink's BCI will be just like Apple's BCI, which can connect to the internet wirelessly, which means that you will be able to connect to the internet wirelessly. You will be a part of what is called the Internet of Bodies. And I believe this has everything to do with the mark of the beast. Remember in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 16 through 18, is very important for everybody out there. Everybody, whether you believe or not. Maybe this will make you a believer as you see this play out in front of you. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Is it a coincidence that the very first Apple computer sold for $666.66? If you don't believe me, let Steve Wozniak tell you himself, who was one of the co-creators of Apple.
Over here, we've got the very first computer we ever built. I hand-wired the entire bottom, soldered it all together. That was an Apple I, the first Apple I computer ever.
Those were the most incredible times. The summer that I built the Apple I computer, I was totally aware that a revolution was close to starting. Steve Jobs came into town. He'd pop into town, see what I was up to, the latest thing I designed for fun, and then he'd somehow turn them into some money for both of us. So Steve Jobs went in to sell him some of our little boards that we built for $20. He said no. They want to buy the thing ready to go. It cost us $250 to build maybe. We'd sell it for $500. And then the retail price was $666.66 because I, as a mathematician, like repeating digits. And that was what it should be.
So he tells you that it was just kind of a coincidence because he likes rounding numbers while he gives you a crap-eating grin, right? That is not done coincidentally. These things are revealed to us. So why is this important? Think about the number 666, the connection to Apple. Apple now bringing the phone inside of the body. Neuralink being the future of phones. The smartphone will be obsolete. Yet we live in a world where 80.4% of Americans, as of this year, 273 million people shop online. And what was the quote from Revelation? What does Scripture tell us? That you will not be able to buy or sell without having the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if 80% of Americans in 2024 are shopping online, we see more stores closing. We see Amazon and these corporations selling food and things online, delivering food to your door. You don't even have to go to the grocery anymore. They're making it almost so that you never have to leave your home, so you stay imprisoned inside of your home. And that number in 2024, by the year 2030, will probably be 100% of Americans and 100% of people around the world, which is why they're so hell-bent on hooking these Starlinks up in every single continent, including countries that want nothing to do with the internet. Remember as well, while the internet itself may be a creation of DARPA, the birth of the web took place at CERN. The birth of the web, the World Wide Web. What is the logo for CERN, for starters? Very clear to see the number 666 in the logo for CERN. In Hebrew, www, World Wide Web, birthed at CERN. In Hebrew, it translates to 666. Now, the next thing to remember is something that often gets overlooked. How they've been talking about 6G wireless tech using human bodies for energy. Most people don't get what that means. Can electricity from the human body replace batteries? Scientists want to use people as antennas. This is often overlooked in the movie The Matrix, where most people believe that they're awake and they're red-pilled and they understand what's going on. Back when The Matrix came out, a lot of people didn't know where we were headed and what the symbolism in that film was, where he says, turning you into this, right? Turning you into a battery.
The Matrix. Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
That's what this is right here. That's what you're seeing. And remember, in witchcraft, energy is the key element in witchcraft. Witchcraft, Satanists, the rituals that they do, they harvest energy. And now you yourself are going to be turned into that battery because you're going to be operating on the Internet of Bodies. This technology is going to be inside of you. And they're telling you this with things like you and AI as one, Elon Musk, X as humanity's collective consciousness, creating a neural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines. These are some clips, including ones I've shown you before, where you could just see what the future looks like with the phone inside of the body, including recently on Black Mirror, them showing you what this looks like, how you are now going to have symbiosis with machines. This is the mixing of iron and clay. This is a creation of DARPA. It's not a creation of Apple. It's not a creation of Tesla. Those people are pretending to be corporations selling you a product. Because if the government showed up at your door and told you to put this technology in your body, 0% of the population would do it. They've eased you along, getting you comfortable with technology, making you want more technology, making life easier by telling you, well, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, get this tech, you can do things this way, everything's simpler, right? That's one of the key concepts and how they've marketed technology. Make it easier. Why do you need cash? Why do you need a wallet anymore? Do everything on your phone, but at the same time telling you that your phone is going to be obsolete.
Absorbing their thoughts on your own?
Yes, we've been working together.
How?
They wanted to coexist with humans. They need to study our minds, not just psychologically, but physically, to work out a means of coexistence. Improvement for both of us. Over time, working in unison, we designed a neurological interface that would allow them to connect to me directly. It entailed a little home surgery. Not pleasant, but not as painful as I thought. Doug, plug and play. The mind is a computer, and the throng are code. I just hooked myself up and they ported themselves across as proof of concept. They didn't overwrite anything on their way in. They just merged with me, like a benign parasite. Symbiotic coexistence.
So, what is that?
It's code.
I don't understand code.
No, but the system does. Impossible to breach the firewall from outside. This is a simple program they wrote, commands your state computer to open a back door for the throng, permitting access to all that juicy power, prompting an immediate singularity event. Will instantly adapt their essence into a signal, transmissible to the human mind. You won't need drugs or surgery. You'll merely have to hear it to receive it, to absorb it. Any moment now, we'll trigger the global emergency broadcast system, and the signal will be simultaneously disseminated by every connected device in the world. Here we go. This is transformative. You'll all merge with an advanced collective intelligence, benevolent unity of mind, an upgrade for all of us to conflict.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and when computing's all on the edge.
All right, 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly?
I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface.
Wow.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
The U.S. government's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency developed what they call Next Generation Non-Surgical Neurotechnology, designed to allow the human brain to directly interface with machines.
Know that DARPA is exploring human-machine interfaces that include direct connections between the brain and outside systems.
We could have a sensor maybe on the surface of our head, or maybe implanted somewhere in our body, in our brain, or something that allows us to interact directly with our communications gear, our processing gear, our weapon systems, and so on. You put this sensor on and you think the right way, and you can increase the speed of the fan by thinking and controlling that thought with direct-to-mind or mind-machine interfacing.
But there are those who believe that this same technology could also be used by DARPA as a new form of mind control. Like their counterparts at the CIA, DARPA-funded researchers have spent decades investigating how the human mind can be altered. Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. But DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
There are explicit programs of DARPA to read and write to human brains.
We can send instructions and information to an actual person a distance with this kind of technology to let another person control their actions.
DARPA may possess the technology to remotely control the human mind. A more permanent kind of mind control technology is looming, and it involves modifying the human brain by altering the human body.
And you put these pieces together that can be injected.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Hello, Bethany speaking.
What are you doing?
This is Bethany, can you hear me?
Well, you're right in front of me.
But can you hear me down the phone?
Oh my God.
This is me. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I can walk and talk because I'm on the phone inside my hand. I am the phone. This is what phones are going to be from now on. I have integrated. Thank you for your call.
Subdermal implants.
They charge themselves with motion like a self-winding watch. I get signal across 95% of UK mainland, 98 by next year.
It was ringing. You were ringing.
That's the speaker. So small. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I am the phone.
By the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever, the Smart Mark. Because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash and even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, number 1.
Time to test our system numbers. Put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a Smart Mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos.
People think Smart Marks are brand new Rook tech that will improve their lives.
But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
You and AI as one. You and the phone as one. The mark of the beast. And Apple, just like you're going to hear in the future, I've said this for a couple of years. All of these companies, from Samsung to Nokia to Apple to Tesla, who also has their own cell phone, they're all going to market you the same thing. They're going to make smartphones obsolete by design, just like they've made flip phones obsolete by design, where they've phased people out, where they said, we're not going to let you run on 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. In fact, we'll give you a free phone just to get you on the 5G network. Well, if everything is going to run through the phone, where you won't be able to go to an airport because you won't get a boarding pass anymore. I just talked about that, right? They're not letting people print boarding passes. They want you to use your phone. Go to a concert, go to a sporting event. Phone. Well, if they're telling you the phone's going to be obsolete, like the guy at Nokia said, what do you think they're telling you? That all of a sudden we're going to go back to living in the Stone Ages? We're going to go back to living like Little House on the Prairie? No. They're telling you that the phone is going to be obsolete, but the technology's not, because you're going to become one with the phone. And this is the mark of the beast. Apple Intelligence, don't forget, while they roll this technology out, they're revealing themselves through signs and symbols, as they all do. The logo for Apple Intelligence, what is it? It's a heptagram. It's used in the symbol as the symbol for Aleister Crowley's occult thelema. It is the symbol of Babylon, the mother of abominations. We've been told that artificial intelligence is summoning the demon. Apple even tells you we're selling you our products with a logo of an apple with a bite in it. What do you think the bite represents? It represents the forbidden fruit that's referenced in the Bible, biting of the forbidden fruit, the forbidden knowledge. This is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's quietly happening, and they're desensitizing people through mind control, making people think, well, it's just a test run. This technology is already ready. It's done. It's complete. It's about convincing you and phasing you into the tech. So at the end of 2025, okay, so keep hearing stories about how Apple's doing it, just like you'll keep hearing stories about how Neuralink is doing the same exact thing, and they're running experiments. Oh, but it's for somebody with Parkinson's disease, so we should all allow this technology to exist, because now the guy with Parkinson's can speak through a computer. And everyone goes, well, who are you to say, this poor guy lived his life like this, and now, he should be allowed to have that technology. Without, of course, the people saying, well, how did he get Parkinson's? They looking up at the spraying in the sky or the chemicals in the food? Of course not. Of course not. The future is brain-computer interface, mixing iron and clay, making you a human cyborg. And for people that don't see the tie-in with the mark of the beast, you need to think about how we're in a world where we're moving every single day towards having to buy and sell using a phone, making cash obsolete, making it so you have to have a phone if you want to buy a product from a store. We don't want cash anymore. We don't want coins. We don't want checks. We don't want credit cards. So if we're moving towards a world where everything's going to be done by the phone, but they're also telling you the phone is going to be gone and obsolete, then we're talking about the mark of the beast. The signs and the symbols are all around us. So Apple is going to be testing this out by the end of the year. You're going to hear more and more stories about miracles that are occurring. The next frontier of phones is going to be the brain implant standard, as some of the articles out there are saying, and how this type of technology is saving lives and making life easier and making humans superhumans. Kind of like the programming you've gotten over the years with the superhero films. Super artificial intelligence. It's you and AI together. You're hearing about AI right now. But if you're paying attention, they're also talking about the future of super AI. The super AI is you and AI merged together. And the mark of the beast, when you're unsavable, when you have the mark of the beast, where the Bible even tells you that there'll be men who seek death and cannot find death, because in those times when they have the mark of the beast, think about that, because you won't be human anymore, because this type of technology edits your genetic code. So you're no longer a single creation of God. You're a manipulated creation, because they're manipulating what your DNA is. Your DNA is specific and unique to you. Every person has their own specific DNA. Everybody. That's how they solve all these crimes, right? Somebody committed a crime, they get their DNA, it goes back to one individual, identical match, right? And that's the end of the case, because they got your DNA. Well, God made us that way. They're changing that. They're creating a race of cyborgs, like those tweets from Elon Musk. Access humanity's collective consciousness, creating Neuralink, achieving symbiosis with machines. Apple's next. You'll hear Samsung in the future. You'll hear AT&T. You'll hear Verizon. All of them are going to start talking about this. They're desensitizing you to it. Every day you hear a story about it, and then you hear the successes of it and how great it is. That's what they're doing right now with Neuralink. Then you'll hear more and more about the future of the phone and how this technology can make you achieve more, spend less time doing this, less anxiety, less this, better health, manage under your skin, right? You could detect cancer ahead of time because you have this tech in your body. You could detect heart disease in the future. Working people into the mark of the beast through mind control propaganda. That's what we're headed towards. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. Share this video, please, and God bless all of you and your families as always.